I made $75,000 last month with my brand scaling agency, and 45,000 of it was with this one outreach strategy I'm going to be breaking down in this video live. Okay. Now, this is not luck. This is a repeatable process I'm following every single day with my marketing agency, no matter what. All right. It starts with proof. You get the volume, you follow up with the leads, and then you eventually close the leads, okay? Now, this is what I like to call the HVO system, or the high volume outbound, all right? And it obviously all starts with your outreach itself. Now, there's multiple channels you can do to do outreach on. There's Instagram cold DMs, there's cold calling, Facebook groups, Reddit even, right? And the daily target volume you want to do every single day is at least minimum, if you're going to be doing cold calling, 50 cold calls, right? Daily target for Instagram is anywhere from 25 DMs to up to 100, depending on how warm and old your account is. And obviously burner method included, which is lead discovery, where you essentially are finding a niche, trying it out for 3 days, seeing your results, and then switching on to another one if needed, okay? And obviously you want to spread messages across hours to avoid the temporarily DM ban on things like Facebook and Instagram. And you can even get spam likely if you do too many calls in a frequent amount of time when doing cold calling. So obviously be aware of that too, okay? But this system right here is what I'm implementing every single day. I have outreachers that are doing every single platform possible, including my own account as well as their accounts for my marketing agency, okay? And it works something like this, right? Here's all the channels that we are targeting: Instagram DMs, cold calling, Facebook groups, marketplace, Reddit, obviously, right? We're using our CRM to track every single lead, all right? As well as spreadsheets and other things like that, just to keep things nice and tidy, all right? We have all the attempts, the stage that they're currently in, and then the last touch up with them, okay? And the conversations themselves to get them booked, and then obviously to get them on that trial, where we'll do usually a couple days for free. I usually recommend most of you guys to do a week free, but this is really just such an appealing offer, and it's getting in so many leads from my marketing agency. It's literally a no-brainer, okay? Now, the DM flow works something like this right here, okay? You find an account, you quick audit them, and find 1 to 2 bulletins you can really kind of target them on, all right? Is it whether their website doesn't look good, their ads aren't good, right? Their offer, whatever the case may be, and jot that down and use that to your advantage, okay? The more personalized you get with these clients, you're gonna have a lot higher chance of actually closing them on actual paid retainers rather than just week free trials, because they actually can tell that you're serious about it and you're paying attention to their business, right? Now, just what I mentioned before, personalized video or voice notes are always recommended over just copy and pasted scripts, right? I've posted tons of my personal DM scripts all over YouTube, and I still recommend it. But if you really want to dial in and make serious money with the outreach strategy I'm showing you guys in this video, you're gonna want to do personalized videos of you showing your face to the client, or voice notes, just to make it that much more personalized, right? And obviously a CTA to call, which is your call to action to actually get them on a book call where either you or your team is going to close the deal, all right? Now, here's another thing as well. You could do an initial DM, you follow up after around 3 days, then do a 6-day multi-platform, try to find them on another social media platform. If they have Instagram, Facebook, try cold calling, whatever the case may be, do some sort of value drop, and then a day 12 last check-in, right? Now, you could obviously time crunch this a little bit more as well to do it less days, but you always want to be following up, guys. I don't think people understand the importance of doing follow-ups. Is literally where 99% of your money is going to be made with your marketing agency. Period. Okay. I cannot stress how important this is. If you're lost on how to actually track it all, literally just make a Google sheet and jot down every single lead in there and the stage that they're currently at right now. Are they cold? Are they warm? Did they have a decent conversation going? Are they not responding at all? And then follow this exact DM flow right here. And I promise you guys, you have a literally 99% chance of actually closing that client because you didn't give up. All right. Now, the next part is the actual DM opener. Okay. Now, there's 2 things here. Now, there's like a, hey man, I noticed whatever about your business, okay? I want to run a 7-day test to get you more bookings or sales, depending if it's e-com or lead gen, of course. And would you like me to set something up for you, right? That's typically the one that we usually do, is really just finding those issues in their business and then kind of using them against them and then offering some sort of revalue, which is that week free trial, okay? And or a quick question, are you getting consistent calls or sales from ads right now or not? And that's just an upfront message. It's straight to the point. Ask them, hey, are you getting consistent bookings for your service-based business? Are you getting consistent sales to your e-commerce store or not? And especially with ads. And that's really just an upfront question to see whether they are or not. They're going to be honest, or they're just not going to respond to you at all. Okay. And like I said before, personalization is always going to be better than just outright pitching them every single time. I can guarantee that right now. All right. Now, the next part is your actual offer and the trial, which I mentioned before. Okay. Conversations eventually convert into trial, then the proof, and then you're getting that retainer. Okay. Because when you run a trial for them in that 7 days, you can generate them results, and then they could see the physical proof right there and then get them interested in actually moving on to a retainer. Okay. And the trial mechanics work like this, right? You only want to do 7 days maximum. All right. I don't recommend anything longer than this because you're just working for free at that point and you still don't know 100% if they are going to commit or not. All right. So you want to do 7 days maximum. You want to do anywhere from $20 to $50 a day ad spend, depending on their budget. Okay. But absolute low end $20. And I think a really good place to start, whether you're e-com or lead gen, $50 a day, you're going to see some really good results. Okay. And obviously one clear metric in mind, you're looking for leads or sales. Okay. A lot of people are worried about all these other click-through rate, all this. Yes, they're important, but at the end of the day, the client is more worried about whether they're getting sales or they're getting leads at the end of the day. They don't care about how many percent of people are watching through the video. It doesn't matter, okay? It's still important at the end of the day, and you should still monitor those, but these are the two main things you want to be focusing on every single day, no matter what, all right? And you want to be providing daily updates to the client. I've mentioned in so many of my videos before in the past, the main thing to actually maintain a client is to communicate with them, keep them in the loop, let them know exactly what's going on, where their money is going, because if not, they're going to be lost, and they're going to kind of have that post-purchase kind of like guilt and kind of worry about in themselves, and they're going to be like, I don't know if I should move forward with this. I'm not knowing what's going on. I don't know. It's just, they don't feel comfortable, all right? So you want to make sure you're communicating with them and keeping them in the loop, obviously, right? And the one simple rule is you don't close on promises, you close on proof, all right? Because at the end of the day, a lot of people like to go into DMs or hop on meetings and say, oh, I promise this, I guarantee this, I do this. Don't do that. You want to close them on the proof that you generated within that week free trial, right? If you're doing a trial, you can get visible proof from that. Let's say it's, I don't know, 10 leads, or you got in 10 sales in that time. There's some sort of concrete evidence that they can see, and now they're interested in actually moving forward and getting paid, like paying you, right? Like, it's simple as that. All right. Now the DM pitch for this as well is something simple where you can do like, hey, I'll run a 7-day test. You cover the ads, I'll prove results. Want me to start something for you? Or you see X results in this many days. Are you ready to lock this in? Something along the lines of that, right? And you can just message your client as so. So here we are on the KPI hub and the money engine, all right? It comes down to 4 main pillars: your app ratio, your CPL, your retention conversion, and your revenue per client per month, all right? These are very, very, very important things you should be tracking in your marketing agency, and you should build out some sort of thing to track everything like I mentioned earlier, okay? Now let's say you get 8 to 20 people that responded out of the 100 DMs you sent, right? And your application rate of them actually going forward is 20%, and then 2 to 6% of them actually having a conversation. Then 1 to 3% is going into that trial, which could be around 0.5 to 1% or more, and then a 0.25 to 0.5% of them getting on a retainer, right? Now, these percentages do seem very small, but when you're doing that mass volume every single day, that's really not all that bad. And this is a low end percentage, okay? This is like safe side, but there definitely could be higher percentages. It all depends on your system and how much value you provide for them, as well as how confident they are in your services, as well as your social proof that you already have on your page or your marketing agency's page, right? Now, the pricing evolution works something like this, all right? Now, you can start off with the starter, which I usually recommend low end, no less than $500 for yourself and your agency, upwards of $1,500 per month. Now, once you're scaling and you have a little bit more results and a little bit more clients you can play around with, you can do anywhere from $1,500 to $4,000 a month. And the premium service, which you have undeniable results and undeniable proof of what you do, and you have case studies, testimonials, the whole 9 yards, you could easily charge $4,000 to $10,000 per month. You guys just seen on my story the other day, I posted a $10,000 wire straight to my account from one person, and that's because I offer a premium service and I have undeniable results and all over my social media. It's just undeniable. So they got really good value out of it, and I made them $200,000 last month, so they gave me 5%, right? Really, really cool. Eventually what you could do once you build out your agency far enough and you do have those results under your belt, all right? Now, the tactical numbers behind it, which I mentioned before, is anywhere from 50 to 100 DMs every single day, 1 to 10 replies, hopefully, right? That could completely depend. There's really no guaranteed amount of those, and hopefully getting anywhere from 1 to 3 calls booked, or just having a conversation to get them to that point of where they book a meeting, right? And the scaling rule is pretty simple. I've talked about this multiple times before. When the CPL baseline and or appointment ratio is stable for around 3 days, let's say, for example, your client's leads are coming in pretty frequently, and they're looking really solid with a decent CPL or CPA in this case as well for e-com for cost per sale. In that case, if it's good for around 3 to 4 days, I recommend increasing the ad spend from anywhere from 10 to 25%. My usual typical rule of thumb is like 20%. And so that's what I recommend to scale them up and to really get them to see results within that time. So you could technically do 2 points of scaling within that week free trial, depending on how the results are actually during that time. Okay. Now, the last and final thing, which is seriously the most important part right here of building out a solid team, as well as getting that mass volume out every single day to land bookings literally every single day, is by building a team, okay, and having the replication that you can do every single day. All right, now here's a build order that I currently have myself. I have a DM outreach specialist, or a VA. I have somebody I pay $300 a month. They handle every single DM for me. They do 50 to 100 DMs with personalized voice messages that I've already recorded before and use those, as well as a cold caller / appointment setter handles anywhere from 50 to 100 applications a day, because I have a lot of people that apply through my form or my website. I'm a media buyer, obviously, which I'm going to be talking about in a different video, but this might actually get replaced in the future. But for now, I have somebody that runs my ads for a day to day, manages all of them, and communicates with me as well as my clients. And obviously a creative lead / editor. I have an editor to edit all of my creatives, as well as my statics, which I hardly run, but it's primarily videos, and a creative lead just to overall getting a good idea for the ads, and somebody who's actually experienced in the space. And obviously a CSM to report to the clients, communicate with them, keep them in the loop. All right. Now here's the kind of pyramid behind it, right? The top is the actual strategy itself. The middle is the actual operations, the creative side, and the base is the execution and the DMs itself, right? You start from the bottom and you build your way up. All right. And the content way to actually get the inbound leads, this is where I got the other remaining $30,000, was doing content and having inbound leads every single day. And that comes from posting on social media on either your agency account or your personal account. Okay. I post anywhere from 2 to 3 videos a day. Recently, I've been a little bit slacking on that because I've just been really building on my agency, but I'm getting back to posting 2 to 3 videos every single day, documenting my wins, posting those results so that anybody that sees my profile are going to be a lot warmer than just randomly going all over my social media platform and then looking for results, right? I'm posting them every single day without failure, and I'm reusing that trial proof to show people the results that we gain for them, as well as those monthly clients we work with as well, right? So doing things like clips from working with them or case studies with them is always helpful as well to kind of increase the chances of getting those inbound leads. And obviously inbound reduces outreach volume and increases pricing power, okay? Now, when a client comes to you and they're an inbound lead, you're always going to be able to charge them a lot more because they are pretty much in need of your service because they came directly to you. When you outreach to them, your chances of them charging that premium price are a little bit lower because you're reaching out to them for help, if that kind of makes sense, right? So when you have somebody that comes directly to you, they're like, yo, I've seen your results before. You're insane. I want to work with you. You could charge that premium price because they're pretty much desperate, right? So that's pretty much the good way about doing it as well, is because you're going to be able to really reduce your outreach volume. I don't recommend it, but it technically does if you can bring in those inbound leads. So that's where I got the additional $30,000 last month with my agency, was strictly inbound leads. So people that came directly to my DMs and were wanting to work with me off my content as well as my agency results, they came directly to me. I made an additional $30,000, $40,000 that came from outreach every single day without failure. Okay, now the tactical stack behind that is very simple. Okay, we already talked about the outreach tools, IG, Google Maps to call up leads, right? Lead scrapers, a sheet like Google Sheets, and a CRM, things like Go High Level. There's so many other ones you can use out there. Like I said, the tech behind it, Go High Level. You use DocuSign to close them, Stripe if you want to use for payments, a CapCut to edit videos, or you can use WAP or any other payment processor. It doesn't matter. I recommend using WAP. That's personally what I'm using, as you guys can see above. And the reportance cadence, where you're pretty much getting them a daily snapshot during the trial and giving them a weekly report of what you completed and pretty much the next steps moving forward. Okay. Moving on to the next part, which is the repetition, delegation, and the proof, which is ultimately going to create predictable months every single month, right? And you do this systematically and you repeat this system and you delegate all this stuff for you, you're going to easily hit $50,000 months plus. Like I mentioned before, I hit $45,000 off this one outreach strategy alone, not including the other $30,000 from the inbound, which I mentioned right here as well, which is just absolutely insane. And we are continuing to grow, and that is pure profit into my bank account. All right. That's with employees paid and everything. We did around like 90,000 paying everybody out. I ended up walking away with around 70,000, but 45,000 that came out from this exact system right here, all outbound, zero inbound. Okay. absolutely insane. So I hope this was pretty easy to understand and it made a lot of sense for you guys. This is the exact strategy I'm using right here. I know it's kind of complicated and a little bit all over the place, but I highly recommend you guys watch this video and take notes, because if you follow the system, there is no reason why you shouldn't be able to hit $50,000 months plus with your marketing agency. So yeah, this is the exact system I've been using for pretty much over a year now, and this one strategy alone made me $45,000 last month, which is absolutely insane. So if you guys do have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. I'll make sure to reply to every single one of you guys. If you guys are interested in actually working with me one-on-one and me helping you implement this system into your agency, or even as a freelancer, I can absolutely help you with that, getting people to get employed under you, showing you the scripts, how to personalize, all that sort of good stuff, and ultimately just work with me one-on-one, have multiple calls with me, and ultimately just having a reliable mentor you can contact anytime and pretty much have me hold your hand through the entire process. Make sure to click the first link down below, which is freelancebrandskilling.com. You can make an application right there if you're interested in working one-on-one with me. All my other social media platforms will be down below. Like I said, if you guys have any other questions, make sure to shoot them down below. I'll respond to every single one of them. I'm going to be posting consistently back on YouTube again, so I really appreciate all of you guys who have been watching my videos recently, as well as this one. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. God bless. Peace.